When I was a kid, I was always asked one question. I must have been in kindergarten when people around me would ask me if I was Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. It didn't really bother me, but it definitely would always bother them when I reply, I was born in the United States. That wasn't the answer they were looking for, but it was the truth. I wasn't lying. And after some back and forth, I'd eventually finally tell them that my family is Chinese. But it wouldn't feel fair because the other side of my family is Hispanic. It felt unfair not because I wasn't giving them representation, but because after everything that I worked for to get to the United States, dodging dictators, finding jobs, and leaving home just to have their legacy erased by someone who didn't feel like listening. It felt like I needed to explain my entire ancestry in order to feel like I told them the truth, but by the time they had already gotten their answer, they already stopped caring to know the rest. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way.
I'm the child of a black father and a white mother. People would ask me when I was alone with my father if I'm okay and if I know this man, as if a parent can have a child that doesn't look like them. In school, I struggled to find friends. I'd think to myself that I'm too white to hang out with the black kids and too black to hang out with the white kids. People around me would bombard me with insults, and with my two backgrounds, people's arsenal of words and insults to use against me had doubled. One set of words to insult my father's side, one set of words to insult my mother's. For the friends I would have that wouldn't judge me by my skin, my hair, by whatever features I have that may leave them questioning who I am. Their parents definitely would. They would wonder to themselves, why didn't his parents just keep to their own, as if I didn't know what they were saying, but I could read it by the way they looked when my parents would drop me off at my friend's house, because they see my skin before they see my heart, unlike their child who knows me for who I am.
I am a child growing up with a white father and a Native American mother, a child not meant to happen. I hated watching old westerns, not because I didn't know which side to root for, but I couldn't help but think about my parents fighting. From arrowheads and gunshots, empires and nations, divide and conquer, I'd be told through history textbooks and movies of the horrible things that people would do to one another. And despite this, my parents found a way to put their past behind them and find love. Like a rainbow after rain, or a beautiful flower blossoming in the spring after a depressing winter, they found a way to make it work. People would say that my ancestors are rolling in their graves, but I think they're wrong. I think they're so wrong. In fact, I'm sure they're proud. They're proud because they found peace, something which they couldn't find themselves. Do not tell me hate is stronger than love.
We think we are alone, but in reality, we are not. We are spread throughout the world, connected through our experiences across mountains, seas, and borders.
We may not be connected through our ancestors, but through our stories we tell of our families, all leading up to the person you see in front of you.
Our family stories are like the rain hitting a sapling, traveling down every leaf, down to the branch, onto the trunk, into the roots where we are today.
The world becomes a big metropolitan zoo, with others looking in on us, throwing peanuts, commenting how we look, comments like how we are exotic. Exotic like we are rare, like we are pets, like we're meant to do cool tricks, and if we do what we're told, we be given treats. But the only characteristic we share in common with that of a zoo animal is that of a lion. We are proud of who we are.
But all of this is just what we are told. And if those words that others tell you penetrate into your mind and you no longer see anything beautiful within you, look from a new perspective, a perspective which puts you in the light, one which doesn't discriminate or tell us who we should be. Find a new perspective no matter what, because we have been told we have been the best of both worlds. Because maybe we're subject of jokes among your friends.
Maybe you had difficulty filling out forms which asked you for your race, which only allowed you to pick one.
We're not old, forgotten knickknacks left on some dusty old shelf. And if some way we are shining trophies given to ourselves for constantly pushing through and being ourselves, not what we are told to be.
We are not just mulattoes.
We are not just mestizos.
We are not mutts.
We are.